Hello everyone. From this lecture, we start our second chapter, that is network model. In this chapter, we study two main network model, that is OSI reference model and second one is TCP/IP model. In this lecture, we study OSI model in which we see what is meant by layer architecture, peer-to-peer processes and encapsulation. For data communication to take place, where two or more users can transmit data from one to other, a systematic approach is required. This approach enables users to communicate and transmit data through efficient and ordered path. It is implemented using models in computer networks known as computer network model. Computer network model are responsible for establishing a connection among sender and receiver and transmitting data in a smooth manner respectively. There are two computer network model. First one ISO reference model, second one TCP/IP model on which the whole data communication process relies. Layered architecture. Networking is a complicated task which involves software, firmware, hardware and electric pulses. To measure this, the whole networking concept is divided into multiple layers. Each layer is involved in some particular task and is independent of all other layers. But as a whole, almost all networking tasks depend on all of these layers. Layers share data between them and they depend on each other only to take input and send output. In this, one whole network process is divided into small tasks. Each small task is then assigned to particular layer which works dedicatedly to process the task only. Every layer does only specific work. In layered communication system, one layer of host deal with the task done by or to be done by its peer layer at the same level on remote host. The task is either initiated by a layer at the lowest level or at the topmost level. If the task is initiated by topmost layer, it is passed on to the layer below it for further processing. The lower layer does the same thing. It processes the task and passes on to lower layer. If the task is initiated by lowermost layer, then the reverse path is taken. Every layer clubs together all procedure, protocol, and method which it requires to execute its piece of task. All layers identify their counterpart by means of encapsulation, header, and tailor. There are some reasons why do we require layer architecture, and reasons are: first one, divide and conquer approach, which makes a design process in such a way that the unmanageable tasks are divided into small and manageable tasks. In short, we can say that this approach reduces the complexity of the design. Second one is modularity. Layered architecture is more modular. Modularity provides the independence of layer, which is easier to understand and implement. It is easy to modify. It ensures the independence of layer so that implementation in one layer can be changed without affecting other layers. It is easy to test. Each layer of layer architecture can be analyzed and tested individually. Now first we study our first network model, that is ISO reference model. This model is based on a proposal developed by the International Standards Organization, that is ISO, as a first step toward international standardization of the protocols in various layers. It was revised in 1995. The model is called ISO OSI, that is Open System Interconnection Reference Model, because it deals with connecting open systems, that is systems that are open for communication with other systems. This layer has total 7 layers, which we study in next slide. This diagram represents 7 layers of OSI model, which further categorized into upper layer, intermediate layer, and lower layer. Physical layer, data link layer, and network layer are categorized as lower layers, transport layer as network independent layer, and session, presentation, and application layer as upper layer. This table represents PDU, that is protocol data unit of each layer. Protocol data unit is a specific block of information transferred over a network. Like for physical layer, it is bits; for data link layer, frames; network layer, packet will be sent; transport layer, segment; and at session layer, information is known as an data. In networking model, the term encapsulation and decapsulation refer to the process in which protocol information is added to the data and removed from data when it passes through layers. Protocol information can be added before and after the data. If information is added before, then it is known as a header, and if after the data, then it is known as a trailer. Header and trailer added by layer in the sending computer can be removed only by peer layer in receiving computer. When data encapsulated by layer of sending computer is processed by same layer of receiving computer, this is known as peer-to-peer interaction. Encapsulation process take place in sending computer, whereas decapsulation take place in receiving computer. After encapsulation, each layer uses a specific name or term to represent the encapsulated data, and that is known as a protocol data unit, which already see in last slide. This diagram represents data encapsulation by each layer. Upper layer like application, presentation, and session layer in OSI, it create data stream and handle it down to transport layer. Upper layer don't use header and trailer with data, but if required, the application that initiates the connection can add header and trailer with data. Since the use of header and trailer in upper layer is application specific, in encapsulation diagram and term encapsulated data in upper layer is commonly known as data only. After that, transport layer breaks the received data stream from upper layer into smaller pieces. Next, it creates the header for each data piece, known as TCP header. This header contains all necessary information about the piece that the transport layer is remote host needs to reassemble the data stream back from the piece. Once header is attached, data piece is referred as segment. Once segments are created, they are handed down to network layer for further processing. Network layer creates the header for each received segment from transport layer. This header contains information that is required for addressing and routing, such as source software address and destination software address. Once this header is attached, segment is referred as packet. Packets are handed down to data link layer for further processing. Data link layer receives packet from network layer. Unlike transport layer and network layer, which only create header, it also creates trailer with header for each received packet. The header contains information that is required for switching, such as source hardware address and destination hardware address. The trailer contains information that is required to detect and drop corrupt data package in the earlier stage of decapsulation. Once header and trailer are attached with packet, it is referred as frame. Frame are passed down to physical layer. Physical layer receives frame from data link layer and convert them to a format that the attached media can carry. For example, if host is connected with copper wire, the physical layer will convert frame in voltage, and if host is connected with wireless network, the physical layer will convert them in radio signal. This whole process is known as encapsulation at sender side. Exactly opposite process will be done by receiving computer at receiver side. Instead of adding, it just process data received from lower layer, remove its pair entry header and pass them to upper layer. This whole process at receiver is known as decapsulation. Now we study function of each layer one by one. First, that is physical layer. It is our lowest layer in OSI model. This diagram represents position of physical layer which is in between data link layer and direct communication media. This is only layer which directly connected with communication media. That communication media may be wired or wireless. So to handle interface with that communication media, all functionality will be done by physical layer. It is the lowest layer of OSI model that coordinates the function required to carry a bit stream over a physical media. It is associated with electrical, mechanical, and functional aspects of transmission media for information and receiving over Internet. The function which are performed by physical layer is related with physical media. It defines the types of transmission medium, also activates, maintains, and deactivates the physical connection. It defines the characteristic of interface between device and transmission media, like data encoding, in which it converts the binary data into signal and vice versa. It handles data rate, that is the number of bits per second called transmission rate, defined by this layer. Then it handles bit synchronization, in which sender and receiver must use same data rate as well as must be synchronized at bit level. Then it also defines line configuration, that is communication of device to communication media that may be point to point, broadcast or multi-point. Then it decides which topology will be used, like maybe mesh, star, ring, and how devices are connected to form a network. Then it also handles transmission mode, which defines the way in which data flows between two connected devices like simplex, half duplex, or full duplex. The device which operating at this layer is known as hub and repeater. The second layer of OSI model is data link layer. This diagram represents the position of data link layer which is in between physical layer and network layer. At sender side, data link layer accept data from network layer and pass them data to physical layer. And at receiver side, it accepts data from physical layer and pass them to the upper layer, that is network layer. Data link layer are again divided into two parts, that is LLC and MAC, that we see in next slide. Second layer of OSI model responsible for error-free transmission of frame from one hop to next. It transforms raw data bit into frame that is free of transmission errors. The packet received from network layer is further divided into frames depending on frame size of network interface card. Data link layer also encapsulates sender and receiver's MAC address in the header. IEEE split this layer into two sublayers, that is logical link layer and media access control layer. Logical link layer is responsible for establishing and maintaining link between communicating devices, whereas MAC, that is media access control, controls the way multiple devices share the same communication channel. There are some functions of this, that is like framing, in which stream of bit is divided into logical unit called frames. It provides the way for a sender to transmit a set of bits that are meaningful to the receiver. This can be accomplished by attaching special bit pattern to the beginning of end of frame. Physical addressing. After creating frame, data link layer adds physical address known as MAC address of sender and receiver in header of each frame to identify its machine. Error control. Data link layer provides the mechanism of error control in which it detects and retransmits damaged or lost frame. The data rate must be constant on both sides, else the data may get corrupted. Thus, flow control coordinates that amount of data that can be sent before receiving acknowledgement. And last one, access control. When a signal communication channel is shared by multiple devices, Max sublayer of data link layer helps to determine which device has a control over the channel at given time. Packet in data link layer is referred as frame. Data link layer is handled by network interface card and device driver of host machine. Switch and reach are data link layer devices. Next, network layer. This diagram represents position of network layer which is in between data link layer and transport layer. Third layer of OSI model is responsible for delivery of individual packet from source host to destination host. If source and destination are from same network, there is usually no need from network layer. Delivery of packet is handled by data link layer directly. It also takes care of packet routing, that is selection of the shortest path to transmit the packet from number of routes available. The sender and receiver IP address are placed in header by network layer. Functions. In order to identify each device on inter-network uniquely, network layer defines an addressing scheme. The sender and receiver's IP address are placed in header by network layer. Such address distinguish each device uniquely and universally. This is known as a logical addressing. Second function is routing, in which the network layer protocol determine which route is suitable from source to destination. Then congestion control, handling congestion problem at node when there are too many packets stored at node to be forwarded to next node. And last function is related with internetworking, in which it provides the logical connection between different types of network. Data unit at this layer is known as a segment and device operating at this layer is router. This diagram represents the position of transport layer which is in between network layer and session layer. Transport layer accepts the data from session layer, convert that data or divide that data into manageable unit known as a segment, attached individual header with each segment and pass that segment to the network layer for further processing. At receiver side, exactly opposite process will be done, in which the segment will be accepted and reassembly will be done by transport layer and pass that single data to session layer for further processing. Fourth layer, that is transport layer. This layer is responsible for process to process delivery of entire message. Process is an application program running on host. Network layer treats each packet independently. Transport layer ensures that whole message arrive intact and in order, overseeing both error control and flow control. This layer provides true end-to-end delivery. The functions of transport layer is as follows. First one, service point addressing. In order to deliver the message to correct process or application, transport layer header includes the type of address called service point address or port address. Thus, by specifying this address, transport layer makes sure that the message is delivered to correct process or correct application. This layer also handles segmentation and reassembly. In segmentation process, the single data unit is divided into manageable subunit at sender side and exactly opposite process at receiver side, in which individual data units, that is data subunits or segments, are reassembled to create the single data. Next, connection control. It provides connection oriented or connectionless services for connection control. Then it makes sure that the sender and receiver communicate at rate they both can handle. Flow control performed by this layer is end-to-end. Error connection is usually achieved through retransmission. The device operating at this layer, also other upper layer, is known as gateways. Then this diagram represent other three layers, other upper layer like session layer, presentation layer and application layer. Fifth layer, that is session layer. This layer is responsible for establishment of connection, maintenance of session, authentication and also ensures security. Beginning, maintaining and ending the communication between two devices is called session. Also provides orderly communication between devices by regulating flow of data. It is network dialog controller. Function. This layer is responsible for session establishment, maintenance and termination. It allows the two processes to establish, use and terminate the connection. This layer provides synchronization which allows process to add checkpoints which are considered as a synchronization point into the data. This synchronization point help to identify the error so that the data is resynchronized properly and end of the message are not cut prematurely and data loss is avoided. Last, that is dialog control. The session layer allows two systems to start communication with each other in half duplex or full duplex mode. Device operating that already see is gateways. Next, sixth layer, that is presentation layer, also known as a translation layer. The data from application layer is extracted here and manipulated as per required format to transmit over network. The functions related with this layer is translation, encryption or decryption, and compression. In translation, it is done if format of data of sender and receiver is different. Data encryption translates the data into another form or code. The encrypted data is known as a ciphertext and decrypted data is known as a plain text. The key value is used for encrypting as well as decrypting data. This process is for security purpose. Compression reduces the number of bits that need to be transmitted on network. Device gateways. Seventh layer, that is last layer, application layer. At very top of OSI reference model, we find application layer which is implemented by network applications. This application produces the data which has to be transferred over the network. This layer also serves as a window for application service to access the network or for displaying the received information to user. It provides the user interface and support different types of service to user. This is also known as a desktop layer. Functions related with this layer, it acts as a network virtual terminal because software version of physical terminal allows user to log onto remote host. Then FTAM means file transfer access and management which allow user to access files, retrieve and to manage or control file in remote computer locally. It provides the mail service like mail operations, forward and storage. Also provides distributed database source and access for global information about various object and directory service. Device operating at this layer is gateway. This single table represents summary of this lecture, means layers of OSI model, then functions performed by each layer, then which protocol data unit will be used at each layer and which devices will be handled by each layer. Now we discuss advantage and disadvantage of ISO OSI reference model. First advantage that it is a truly generic model and act as a guidance tool to develop any network model, means it is considered as a standard model in computer networking. Layers in OSI model architecture are distinguished according to service, interfaces and protocols. Hence, it is flexible in nature. Protocol in each layer can be replaced very conveniently depending upon the nature of network. Since the protocol are hidden, any protocol can be implemented in this model. So I call it as a generic model. It has all flexibility to adapt to many protocols. It supports connection-oriented as well as connection-less services. So we can use the connection-oriented model when we need reliability and connection-less service when we need a faster data transmission over the internet. It follows divide and conquering technique. All the services are distinguished in various layers. So administration and maintenance for this OSI model architecture are straightforward and easy. This layer model architecture follows abstraction principle, means change in one layer does not impact much on other layers. It is more secure and adaptable than having all service bundled in single layer. These all are the advantage of OSI model layer, but there are some disadvantage of this layered architecture as well. So disadvantages are it is a purely theoretical model that does not consider the availability of appropriate technology. This restricts its practical implementation. The standard of OSI model are theoretical and do not offer adequate solution for practical network implementation. The OSI model is very complex. The initial implementation are cumbersome, slow, and costly. Though there are many layers, some of the layers like session layer and presentation layer have very little functionality when practically deployed. There is a duplication of services in various layers. Service like addressing, flow control, and error control are offered by multiple layers. It doesn't define any particular protocol. It may find sometimes difficult to fit a new protocol in this model. This is because this model was created before invention of any of these protocol. And last disadvantage is there is also interdependence among layers. This layer cannot work in parallel. They have to be in wait to receive data from its predecessors. So these are the some of the disadvantage of ISO OSI reference model. In next lecture, we will discuss about second model that is TCP/IP. Thank you.